I appreciate y'all waiting. Sorry I was late. We had our adapted senior celebration and, four very special young ladies, who have just, I mean, they're just gritty, and that's what they've been the whole time they've been here. And when the game got gritty like that, I felt really comfortable and confident in them because, that's what they do. They were going to make a play. They were going to get a rebound. They were going to get a steal. They're going to do something. And I thought and it ends up that they really actually shared the ball in crucial moments and had some beautiful, like one more and assists, which on your senior night, when you share in those moments, instead of trying to be the hero, you make sure somebody else made the right basketball play. And I thought that was huge down the stretch. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. That's a huge win. Wake Forest is an NCAA team. They're very, very good. They've got great veteran leadership as well. And we knew it would be a close game. We did every special situation in the book, in shoot around and in practice planning, because every time we play Wake, it's very close, and they're really smart. I mean, they're a great basketball team, and that's a huge win for us.
All right, and our first question comes from Caroline McDonald. Go ahead, Caroline.
Hi, Coach. I just wanted to say congrats. First of all, it was an amazing win. I wanted to ask, there wasn't a lot you needed to say tonight to hype these girls up, but what did you say in the locker room before the game that made these girls motivated to come out and play on senior day and get to 500?
I've been coaching a while, and there's certain games where you have to give a big motivational speech, and I love doing it, and I love getting them all fired up. I think I surprised them. I talked about being calm and details and being where their feet were and not overhyping it, because I knew that the seniors were hyped, and I knew that the juniors and the sophomores and freshmen just wanted to go out there and get a win for the seniors. And when it gets too emotional, you just kind of calm them down. So we had a nice moment in film before shoot around where I really addressed the seniors, but in the locker room, I didn't. I knew the emotions would be too high.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Alex Pachachi. Go ahead, Alex.
Coach, congratulations on the win. I'm curious because you've coached a lot of seniors and you've coached a lot of seniors on the same team. Is there anything that stands out with these four? Because like you mentioned in your speech before or after the game, they have a lot of courage, a lot of grit, and that's what they bring to the team. But is there anything in specific, maybe even off the court, that stands out to
you? When you have four young ladies that all play the same basic position, right? They're all guards, and four of them come in together. So probably one of them's not starting, and it rotates through. But all four of them stayed. And it's just a statement on college athletics these days. That's very, very rare. And they all were very impactful. They all were very important. But like I said to the families and afterwards, like I looked up at the families, like this is you too, your commitment. You let them grow roots here, and you got some tough phone calls throughout the 4 years. I'm not the easiest person in the world to play for, and no one is always happy 24/7. So there's something else going on with these families, especially during this time where it's almost isolation, everything that what they were filling their young ladies and their daughters' heads with. It was really positive stuff and really important. And I wanted to make sure that I gave credit, because for every successful person, there's a family or somebody that really, truly loves them and keeps telling them you're special. I believe in you. You are loved. There's no one else like you in the world. And I got you, so that they don't get discouraged. Instead, they get encouraged. And that's a big deal with my coaching philosophy as well. Being faithful.
Our next question comes from Wyatt Kopelman. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Coach, congratulations on the second straight ACC win. You certainly had a lot of production out of your seniors tonight, but Nyla Goni and Sydney Roby also play their respective roles. Could you tell me a little bit about what you saw from them off the bench?
Yeah, well, Roby was huge in the first, and let me tell you what, Goni, I walked over to her, and said, you might be the MVP in your 4 minutes. And she looked at me like I was crazy. I said, no, those shots, and when they went zone and we were able to free her up, it's a tough matchup for her we were going our man to man when we're playing zone. She was great, but Rox is a heck of a matchup for Goni. So we had to have Destiny in there, a little bit more of a bigger body, but I thought Goni and Roby just huge timely buckets, and really the team had faith in them and they really came through.
Our final question comes from Anthony Torres. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, Coach, congrats on the big win. I just wanted to know, in that first half, you guys came out hot, and then Wake Forest just kept fighting back. What was the message like at halftime? Because you guys came out in that third quarter just pushing the ball, attacking the basket.
Right. Well, I was disappointed in our pace. I said, you're playing Wake style. That's why, let me preface that by saying that's why Goni's 2 threes were huge. because we were on the ropes. They had switched their defenses. We weren't hitting. And so then all of a sudden, you go 2 for 2 in the last 3 minutes of the half from the three, and then your halftime 3-point percentage doesn't look so bad, but it was little. I think we were 4 of 11, but we were 2 of 9 without Nyanga. So those were huge. So that gave us a lift. And then at halftime, it was more about like, Wake wants to play this way. They want to get a call from their coach, execute it. They know all of our plays. We call a play, they're repeating the call. I mean, it was like chess. And I'm like, that's not Miami. Like, we can do that, and we did. But when we stretched our lead, both first half and second half, was when we played with pace, so that they didn't have time to talk through all their, because there are some mismatches out there for us if we played faster.
Thank you.
Very good question.
We've got one more from Lauren. Go ahead, Lauren.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the win. I just wanted to know, as this season, comes to a close, what events made it particularly memorable? You had a great wins. Tonight was senior night, but were there any moments throughout the season that really stood out to you?
I think the first time we were able to even get in the gym, just the first time when you're doing like 3-on-3 with masks on, going, 3 isolated social distancing workouts, and thinking, are we even going to have a season? To make it all the way through, to have played, I don't know how many games this is now. Is this like 20 for us or something? Like, that was just an absolute, never thought it would happen. So I think from that first workout in July to tonight, it was a success regardless. But it's hard. It's hard. And I'm not going to lie and say that this has just been a normal year. It has been very, very hard. And there were times when we just were staring at each other like, I ask you to run this race, but we don't know how long it is. Is it a marathon? Is it a sprint? How fast? What's the duration? You just didn't know. And so you just had to put your fear aside and somehow find courage to just, and actually to love it. It was scary to love basketball because you didn't know if it was going to be taken away. So the fact that we're playing with joy and that we love the game, that takes a lot of courage, because it was just, you were very vulnerable this year. We were all very vulnerable. And I think that we've shown a lot of grit, a ton of grit. I'm very proud of this team.